So the theme of this week was changing levels to gauge your reaction and snapping down, going for underhooks and Imanari rolling depending on what your reaction was. So there was a lot of changing levels and collar ties, as well as Russian 2-on-1s. There was a particular replayed sequence today where I tried to go for a foot sweep off of an arm drag. I will be trying that way more if I get into a perpendicular position with you, and the chain wrestling will be changing levels up into underhooks like that, into foot sweeps if I can get chest to chest with you, and ultimately breaking you down and your posture down if you sprawl too hard basically. Here's that foot sweep sequence. You did a really good job avoiding it though. I almost had it. I had a good position, that perpendicular stance. That's going to be a good counter to my 2-on-1 as well, that pushing foot sweep. Whenever you insert that deep De La Riva, I'm going to be looking to back step because your leg is so far in between my legs. It's really hard to avoid any sort of leg locks once your deep De La Riva is engaged like that. This was a good ditch out into a good 50-50 position, but that's what I was looking for with that back step. Good response though. Experimenting with the side control escape, I cradle your leg to your head and then I use that to gain momentum and insert my knee. Really good pressure with the Darce today. I really felt you front headlock me in this position, and that's going to serve you really well because it shuts down a lot of the ways that I punch deep underhooks and the way that I move by going for front headlocks. That's going to be a really good strategy going forward, and it's going to shut down my guard quite a bit. One thing I noticed you did a lot today that was really effective was this, putting my hips facing away from you. When I have my hips facing towards you, I'm really strong, but the way that you're breaking my posture and turning my spine is really effective in this position. You got me here a couple of times today, and I think it's a really effective way to shut down that quarter guard, half guard series that I like. Really good passing mechanics. You can also see how you've adjusted your pinning mechanics depending on the threats that I show you from underhooks and putting your head too close. You avoid most of my submissions, and you're able to pin me really effectively without giving me any of your head, neck, arm, anything to attack. It's really good. I think it's mainly using your shins and your body position to really put gravity and your chest weight on me. It's really hard to attack you. A lot of people will leave an arm out, they'll leave their head out, but you're doing a really good job making sure you're controlling me but not leaving any vulnerabilities. This is a grip I think is going to work really well for me, that single hand reverse Kimura grip where I have that under your arm, because it couples really well with the giggler sweep and it really shuts down a lot of your options. And then what I do from here is I'm going for a bit of a reverse Kimura lock, but I've got your wrist into my elbow here, so I missed it in the first time, and then I gathered your wrist into this position. And if I spin here, I can actually do a lot of damage. If I spin on my belly and just spin around, I can actually do a lot of damage onto your shoulder before you can do anything. But just be careful about that. I was very controlled there, but eventually I am going to put some more pressure on that thing. I got too enamored with the toe hold here, and you did a great job cinching in the arm triangle. I put your knee into my hip crease, and it actually tightens the arm triangle because you have more control over my torso. It's kind of like putting you into more of a mount 3/4 guard situation over just a half guard situation. This is something you're going to see me attempt a lot more. You can see how much distance I can create, or close rather. Look at how far I'm able to go to grab your leg. And then once I grab your leg, I'm confident in my scrambling ability from the single leg position, kind of half guard. So I know I can put you to your back once I have your ankle. Bit of a heel hook from the top sequence that we got into. Just be really careful here. Gianni Grippo did a heel hook in the same position, and he was able just to fall back and rip on it really hard. So just be careful there. Be a little bit more proactive in getting your foot out. But there were a couple of moments there where if I just threw caution to the wind and fell on it and span around, it would have caused damage as well. Great response to the body lock. I haven't seen that before, and I think it's super effective. The way that you can put pressure on my hip with your right knee is really incredible. So starting now, just be really careful about this 2-on-1 position. Before, I was letting it go a little bit more before it could develop, but now I'm going to be very insistent and persistent once I have that grip. I'm going to be holding on to it and using my strength to really maintain that grip, and then from there I can attack from different places. So over trying to escape the position, maybe look for counters, and that guillotine is a good option though. So this is the change levels and then snap down. So that is one of the ways that I can move. As you put your legs really far back, your posture is really far forward, and then I can snap you down. Although I think you pulled guard there a little bit too as well. This was a really slick move. You pummel your knee right underneath my elbow. Just beautiful triangle transition. Luckily, I was able to create some space and get out, but just amazing triangle. Really excellent leg lock defense here, just making sure you're spinning and getting that knee line out. Another thing you can do is hamstring exposure. So you can take your left leg and put it behind my knee there, right? So there's a little bit of space. I know my knee is in the way there, but if you can put your shin behind my hamstring and press on my hamstring, it'll be easier to get out of these positions. Pushing on my hamstring, yeah, right there, exactly. Yeah, you almost got it. If you just get in the crook of my knee, then you can get out really effectively. Then just a great transition from the arm triangle to the rear naked. Just a great combination. Hard to stop from the back. Good work this week. I'll see you next week. Great training.